anyway, it was amazing, and the people were amazing, and it was just amazing to go to these families with one-room homes, no indoor plumbing, no electricity. You'd have a kind of a fireplace, sort of, and that was it. We went to one family and Hetty ended up having the organization pay 100, see, now I'm the money thing.
100,000 rubles.
100,000 rubles, which is $25 euros,
Yeah.
which paid for their wood for the entire winter.
Yeah.
Had they not done that, the 2 children that lived in the house would have been moved to an orphanage through the winter months and then brought back in the spring. So it was these abilities to make these spontaneous decisions and do spontaneous good things. We met one child who's my favorite. He, there's a school for kids who are exceptionally smart, and many of them live there. They don't have the means to go home on the weekends. We saw this little boy in the kitchen on Saturday reading a book, and I thought, what is he doing? And the story was his mother was dead, his father was an alcoholic, and he just did not want to go home on the weekends. So the future for Reach Out. Pictures. Anton, he's my favorite. You'll see a picture of him, Anton. He's just, I was going to steal him, but I don't like that. So he's just so sweet. And they paid 100 euros, I think, and it paid for his food for the entire year. And then I gave him some 50 euros and just whatever. I mean, by the time you're done, you're like, take my go. And you just want to, it's hard to know when not to overdo it. You just want to do so good, and it's so impacting for $5 or 20 euros or whatever. So you really, but I don't know, it's just one of those kids that just kind of, you just wanted to take him home with you. So the Children Garden is our next big project, and they're going to be applying for a grant through Falco for $4,500. You're going to see in the pictures there's a very blue wall and a couple photos of you'll recognize the really bad walls and so forth. That's the area that we're looking at, that the Future for Reach Out is looking at, to actually renovate inside the school and kit it out with everything it needs to build a bathroom, to build a little kitchenette, to build a classroom, as well as a sleeping area for kids for about 23 kids. It's 10,000 francs, which is nothing, you know. So if we get this $45 grant, we're going to have to come up with the balance of that. So we'll be talking to you a little bit more about that. It's pretty impressive, and I think the most important thing is that, not because it's just a children's garden, this is the first kindergarten in the region. And right now, these kids from 3 to 5, which is about the age that they would be going there, are often left home unattended by the parents, either are inability to take care of them because they're alcoholics and doing other things, or they're trying to work in the field for the day, making $8 a day. So it's either make money and eat or not. So these kids are left home, and we actually met one of the little girls who, her mother was an alcoholic. She gave birth to a premature daughter, probably from fetal alcohol syndrome, but we don't know for sure. Never had any communication with the daughter whatsoever. She was running around with all sorts of men, and she doesn't speak very much. So they put her in a special education school. She's almost 6, and they hope in a few years she'll be up to speed to go back to the regular school. And it's not that she's mentally disabled. It's not that she just didn't have any stimuli, no impact, nothing, no contact, no input from her mother. Now that situation has been great. She's cleaned up. We saw her apartment, her house. It looks great. And her oldest daughter's in the school for the exceptionally smart kids. So it's quite a dichotomy that you come across in this project.
She doesn't drink now. That's the
nothing.
Mother.
The mother, no drinking whatsoever. So I was impressed with that. And then the only thing that was a nice, pleasant surprise about being able to help people spontaneously, we had a little money left over from the American Women's Club, and we were just intending to put it back in the bank. And we came across one of the teachers that has kind of a daycare after-school program for kids. Valerie, he was really funny. So we opened these cabinets, and you'll see the pictures, just sad little books and some stuffed animals, no stuffing, and just really pathetic. And we said, what can we get you? And we walked away for about 20 minutes, and he chased us down and gave us this list of things. We went to the nearest government-owned store and tried to buy everything we could. Now, government-owned stores are interesting enough in themselves, but we bought the 4 maps they had. We bought the books they had. We bought some rugs so the kids could have places to play. And one rug was The Lion King. I mean, where, you know, I'm like, where does this come from? We have no idea. I'm like, The Lion King, great, we'll take it. There were tennis balls in a glass case, not in a canister, just 3 tennis balls. They're brand new. I'm like, take those too. You know, so we loaded them up for about $100, and you'll see the pictures of the results of that. He did ask through the interpreter if he would want to marry him, and he asked me to marry him, and I said, no. I showed him. No. I showed him my wedding ring. I showed him my wedding ring, and he went like this, like he could saw it off. So he was very endearing, and he was just again so appreciative of what we were doing for the kids, and you'll see how appreciative that the kids were. So without further delay, it's about just a 3-minute photos with